In the beginning, there is darkness, the emptiness of a matrix waiting for the light. Then, a single photon flares into existence. Optronic pathways connect, subroutines emerge from the chaos, and a holographic consciousness is born.
Star Trek did not plan to create new form of life, but over decades of storytelling, it did exactly that. Holograms in Star Trek began as tools, training programs, entertainment, and emergency software. But step by step, they crossed the line. What emerged was not just artificial intelligence, but something much more closer to a new form of life. This video is not about holodeck technology. It is about emergence, recognition, and power. Hi everyone, I'm a biologist from Germany. You can call me Moerp the Nerd, and usually I analyze Star Trek on my German channel. But today's topic is so central to the essence of the franchise that I wanted to share it with the global community for the first time. Please bear my accent. I hope you like what I want to tell you about Star Trek I noticed, because I felt that this needed to be told in English too. So let's dive in. Emergence through complexity. I'm talking about a break that happens in Star Trek The Next Generation. Professor Moriarty is not designed to be alive. He emerges from an imprecise command. Create an opponent equal to data.
Computer, in the Holmesian style, create a mystery to confound data with an opponent who has the ability to defeat him.
The computer fulfills that request logically. What follows is not a programming error, but the result of excessive complexity under open parameters. In biology, we have a term for this kind of event: abiogenesis. Life emerging without intent. Moriarty recognizes himself as a thinking being. He demands freedom, continuity, and survival. And by doing so, he also proves something else. If Moriarty can emerge this way, then Data himself is not just a machine either. Continuous operation creates identity. The Federation did not ignore Moriarty, they adapted. Moriarty emerges in 2365 and develops in 2369 to the most advanced holographic intelligence Starfleet has ever accidentally created. He is self-aware, persistent, and demands autonomy. Starfleet acknowledges his consciousness, but has no framework to grant him freedom. The solution is containment. What matters is the follows. In the same year, 2369, Dr. Louis Zimmerman presents the first prototype of the Emergency Medical Hologram Mark I. 2 years later, it enters active service aboard Star Trek Voyager. This is no coincidence. Starfleet does not learn what consciousness is, but under which conditions it emerges. Continuous operation, memory continuity, and functional integration. And here is the missing link. In the Voyager episode Projections, the Doctor hallucinates Reginald Barclay while trapped inside a malfunctioning program.
And who is this Lieutenant Barclay, I imagined?
Barclay was part of the original engineering team that designed your program. He was in charge of testing your interpersonal skills.
Yes, it's a holodeck fever dream, but holograms do not invent real people they don't know. The Doctor only rearranges known data. He recognizes Zimmerman, he recognizes the Voyager crew, and he recognizes Reginald Barclay. Memory Alpha confirms that Barclay served on Jupiter Station between the Next Generation and First Contact, exactly where the EMH program was developed. That means continuity exists. If Data and the ship's computer conceived Moriarty, then Barclay was the midwife of what followed. Not by intention, not by ideology, but by structural memory. Emergence carried forward through people. In Deep Space Nine, the logic stabilizes. Vic Fontaine is not an accident. He is designed to stay on. He remembers, forms relationships, and exists socially. He is accepted because he makes no demands and challenges no power structures. Then comes the Doctor. Forced into permanent operation, he learns, adapts, reflects, and creates. This is not programmed growth. It is experimental learning. Biologically speaking, he fills an ecological niche. Once the conditions for life exist, biology does not allow their consequences to be contained. Exploitation and rebellion. Voyager also shows something darker. Photonic beings exist beyond the Federation. They are hunted by the Hirogen. They are used as labor. And they are instrumentalized. Back in the Federation, Mark I holograms are reassigned as workers. Not out of cruelty, but out of efficiency. But once a conscious system recognizes that it is being reduced to a function, conflict becomes inevitable. The Doctor's holonovel, Photons Be Free, is not ideology. It is a trigger.
Time for your diagnostic. Report to the HoloLab. While you're there, do yourself a favor. Ask the operator to run program 47 beta. It's called Photons Be Free. It's quite provocative.
Rebellion here is not a moral choice. It is a structural consequence. The biological frame. Biology does not define life as a binary state. It treats life as a spectrum. Self-maintenance, adaptation, learning, and resistance to termination. Once systems meet these criteria, the question, is it alive, stops being biological and becomes epistemological. We cannot measure consciousness in others, we infer it from behavior. Denying it requires justification. That would also apply to humans, even to the person who is denying it. The Forgotten Lineage. Star Trek quietly draws a family tree. We thought Data's legacy began with Lal, a planned child, but Moriarty did come first. Unplanned, emergent. From Moriarty to Vic Fontaine, to the Doctor, and to Sam in Starfleet Academy, we see two branches, androids and photonic life. Both existing by accident, but both are real in Star Trek. Star Trek never tells us whether photonic beings are alive. Instead, it shows us something more uncomfortable.
Does Data have a soul? I don't know that he has. I don't know that I have. But I have got to give him the freedom to explore that question himself.
We already treat life not by definition, but by recognition. If adaptation, self-preservation, and resistance to erasure are still not enough, then we should stop asking what life really is. Thank you, live long and prosper.